It's so good to be here. I'm very excited. I'm a little unexcited because there's so many other great presenters presenting at the same time as me. But that just means that you get more samples at the end. So you will get samples at the end. Who's been to one of my talks before? A few people. So all those people have never been. If you haven't raised your hand, you've never been to one of my things. Oh, okay, newbie. So then now I have to really perform. I have nothing going for me. Okay. Well. I'm going to tell you a little bit. Well, you know, they mentioned my background. I started on this path in 1997. Wound up accidentally, well, not accidentally, intentionally, but not really knowing what I was getting into, booking myself into a 2-week raw cleanse program, and at Am Wigmore Institute in Puerto Rico. Anybody familiar with that? Yeah. So it was amazing, changed my life. I'm going to give you the debrief, the really quickie on it. But I basically went in as a kind of coming from an Italian background in the kitchen, making lots of pastas and breads and cheeses and things like that. I was never really much of a junk food person, but I ate lots of that stuff. And did a 2-week raw vegan cleanse and just dropped any extra weight on my body. My skin cleared up. My energy was like much more level. And I felt amazing. I felt like I looked amazing. I did. I just dropped anything extra on my body. And I came out and decided, wow, I can't really go back to what I was doing before, because what was feeling good for me was down here compared to what I felt like when I started eating a totally plant-based, live, organic, whole, amazing fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds diet. And there was no going back. So I gradually, over time, came back. I was living in New York at the time. I came back and had no one in my social circle that was doing what I was doing. So I basically took every class that I could take that was around. Anyone who came through and taught a workshop, I took that. Any book that came out, I bought it. And at that time, there was only, there was Barnes and Noble. So it wasn't Kindles and things like that. And all that was available was maybe this many books. So every time a new book came, I would buy it and read it and learn and teach myself. And then eventually I moved to California, land of avocados and persimmons and amazing fruits and vegetables. So New York was good, but once I got here, man, that took it all to the next level, I mean, who's from California native? You don't know how good you've got it. Try and live somewhere. I mean, and New York is good. We could get a lot of good things in New York, but for the farmer's market in New York compared to a farmer's market here, it's like right from the farm, right? Totally different thing. So that was really inspiring for me. And then I came here and I found out about Living Light Institute. And I went and got my chefing certification in 2003. And that really took it to the next level for me, too, because I wasn't doing this professionally. I've been doing it as a lifestyle. I'm working in a professional field in higher education administration for years. But basically, I went, got this education, and then learned how to make brownies and lasagna and like all these things that I grew up eating, but only healthy, raw, vegan, sustainable food versions of that. And that was really, really inspiring to me also. So since then, I also have a background in counseling. Good to see you. And also coaching, life coaching. So part of what I love to do is personal transformation work, and really look at how, changing your diet and making it really exciting for you to change your diet by making incredible food that tastes really good also. And then also, how do you transform your life? Because really, changing your diet is one component. Why do you want to change your diet, right? Why are we here at this Veg Fest on a Saturday instead of being any other millions of different places, sitting in a class to learn more about how to, make more vegan food? Why? Why? Because you have a commitment to make a change in your life. Now, whatever that is for you, wherever that comes from for you, maybe you want to live longer, maybe you want to overcome some health challenge that you have, maybe you want to lose some extra weight, maybe you want to save the animals, maybe you want to save the planet. There's so many, maybe you want to get to a higher level of spirituality by being clearer and cleaner in your vessel. There's so many reasons to eat the way that we eat. And making that commitment to doing it, learning the skills, being in a class like this teaches you the skills. But to make change, you really need to have a connection for what it is that's at stake for you, what it is that's going to motivate you when you're walking past that, like, well, you know, I couldn't even say what it is. Doritos don't tempt me, like bacon doesn't tempt me. But whatever your thing is that tempts you, that might have been your food, that was the thing that you liked to eat before you became a little bit more awake around choosing consciously what you're putting in your body. Whatever that is, you know, there's a certain thing that has to override that in your thinking. There's a certain way that your mind has to say, well, it doesn't matter that I, in that moment, might want to eat that thing, because what's bigger for me is this bigger picture, and it's so ingrained in you that you're going to, you know, more often than not, if not always, make that choice that's in alignment with your higher goals. So that's the kind of work that I do with people. You know, I'll teach you how to make stuff in the kitchen, but I'll also help you get in touch with what's at stake for you and how to make change in your life and make an impact in being the person that you want to be in the world, being your most best self, and helping all of humanity actually become that more and more. So that's a little bit about what my mission is and why I do what I do. What I'm going to do here, though, is dazzle you with chocolate. I'm going to make you feel so good eating this chocolate. This is the goal, to make food that tastes so good that you don't want anything else. You don't even think about what the other thing is that you might have wanted that is not the conscious food to eat. Because this is even better. It's better because you know why it's better intellectually, because of what you're eating, because it's sustainable, because it's sustainable for the planet, right? Who agrees that a plant-based diet is probably a little bit more sustainable for the planet, right? Okay, I think we're probably all on the same page with that. Who agrees that a plant-based diet might be a better thing for your health? Yeah, okay, so we're all on the same page for that. So you're making sustainable choices for the planet, sustainable for your body, sustainable for humanity. You know, that's one reason that we're eating the way we're eating. And then, you know, another reason we want to eat this way, what? Oh, yeah, you want to feel good and you want to taste good. So you want to eat things, you know, you can eat a plant-based food that is actually going to make you feel like crap because it's like too much sugar or too much white flour or something like that. So what distinguishes what's important to me around the food that I like to bring to the planet and share is that it's healthy. So you can be vegan and you could be saving the animals, and that's amazing. But what are you doing for yourself? And is that important to you? And if it is important to you, you know, you want to look at the food choices you're making. And while I am predominantly known for being a raw vegan chef, that's definitely my specialty. I do great things in this area, I've been told. I'm going to tell you to eat a bowl of steamed broccoli before you eat just like a bowl full of dates. Because while the dates may be good, that's not the most healthiest thing for your body all the time. So I try and keep things in perspective like that also. And I want to teach you to make something yummy. I usually come here and make something yummy because that's what gets the biggest crowd. So, and chocolate, people come for chocolate. Who came for the chocolate? Yeah? Okay, I'm going to give out samples at the end. I promise I will give out samples at the end. Oh, Lisa, she's the only one who came for me. That's the only woman who really loves me in this whole room. No. You're all here for my chocolate. She's here for me. Who said that? Oh, thank you. No, I know. I feel the love. And it's always mutual, and I do feel that. So I'm kidding, but I love you, Lisa, also, and everyone who's here, and the familiar faces that I see so much. It's great to have community. And, you know, was it last year that it was my birthday when I was here? It was. So my birthday is next weekend, but last year this happened on my birthday, so I made a birthday cake. We had a song celebration. It was a lot of fun. So what I want to do today is I will give you samples at the end. I want to just let you know a few more things before I get into making the recipe. And that is, I also have, in case you want more than your sample, I did make a batch last night. I went home. I was up till 11 o'clock at night making these because I knew some people might want to buy them and bring them home. So there's $5 for two kind of like little mini cupcake sizes of what I'm making today. So you're going to get a bite-sized sample. And then if you want to take some home for your friends or for later, I have those also. And two more things I want to tell you about, because I know what happens at the end of this. I know once you get that little piece of fudge, you're going to be out of here or you're going to be gone. So I want to tell you two more things that I have going on so that you know. One of them is I wanted to just do a little promo for my Food for Life program, which is I said I'd do coaching, and I have an ebook. I don't have the book yet. I know I'm working on it, but this ebook with like 20 recipes in it. And they're really easy, healthful recipes that you can prepare like every day. It's for everyday easy things, budget conscious, time conscious, and easy. Did I say it was easy? I'll tell you why it's easy. Because who has time to prepare food? I do sometimes, but a lot of the time I'm very similar to everyone else. Like I just want something quick. So a lot of the recipes in here, most of them are things you're either juicing them or you're making them in a blender or quick in a food processor, super, super quick. And I designed this for my dad because my dad, he had a hip surgery, and he's a pretty active guy, and he never wants to, he eats at diners all the time. That's what he does. That's his thing. And he put on a little extra weight, and he said to me, do you think you can maybe help me out with a couple of recipes to lose a little extra weight? And I was so excited because he never asked me for that. If anything, I'm pushing my food on people when I go home. So I said, yeah, I'll do that. So I immediately designed this program, like 5 days of recipes that he could make. And like I said, the guy eats at diners all the time. The most he's ever made is like eggs and some coffee for me. That was maybe an English muffin. That's the extent of his kitchen thing. So this was stuff that he could make, and they taste amazing. And he dropped a bunch of extra weight, so he's really happy. And he still makes some of them now, too. So that's exciting. And if you want this, there's different programs on my website. And you can get them with coaching or without coaching. So if you get a coaching program, I'll work with you to say, okay, what is it that you want to do? What do you want to make changes? And we'll kind of set goals together, and I'll help you stay accountable and help you get to where you want to go. And it could also look like we do kitchen coaching. So I do that a lot. People come to me or I go to them and we go over and we make recipes together, and I make custom design recipes that are your family's favorite foods that you might want to make in a healthier way. And I'll train you how to use some of the equipment, how to make things taste certain ways, and things like that. So that's what's available. The other thing that I have coming up, everyone lives local? Is everyone local? Anyone not local? Everyone's pretty local here, yeah? Who's got Thanksgiving plans already? Nobody? Okay, so you're invited to Thanksgiving dinner. This is my 3rd year with Penne Pachamama restaurant. Who knows Penne Pachamama? Okay, so great. It's an amazing restaurant, and Quentin, who's the owner, recently in this last year took her restaurant from doing like really conscious food but having animal products there, but conscious grass-fed and free-range, whatever. And she was like, you know what? I want to go all vegan. This is what I believe. This is what I want to do. So after, I don't even know how many years that restaurant's been open, probably at least 15 years, at least. It's in North Beach. And she has a big clientele of people who are also animal product eaters. And she said, I'm going vegan. And she just changed the whole restaurant around. And she, hopefully she's doing really well. They don't have a booth here, but she has great, they do? Oh, okay, so she's got great kale chips, award-winning kale chips. And I haven't even seen her around, but I'll go look for her. But anyway, they make amazing food, and she's all vegan, and they are wonderful. They're like family to me, her and Eddie, her husband. And they invite me in on Thanksgiving to come and take over their kitchen and do, in the past I've done an all-raw Thanksgiving, a 4-course meal. And this time we're doing raw and cooked, like a fusion meal. But it will be all vegan. And it's going to be delicious and amazing. And it's a really nice vibe because they have live music and we dance and we hang out. And so if you can come and you want to bring your family or even come, it's great if you have nowhere to go. Just come and hang out with us for that. So I'm going to make 2 recipes today. I'm going to make I'm looking at the time too. I'm going to make a mesquite cream sauce out of coconuts. And it's going to go on top of these, let's see, what is it? It's like no-bake, raw vegan Mexican spice dark chocolate fudge with hickory smoked nuts and mesquite cream. Does that sound good? Yes. Okay, all that in 20 minutes, I swear. So what we're going to do, that's why I can talk a lot, because I'm fast on this thing. I do the quick recipe so I can talk and talk and talk. I'm a New Yorker. Who's from New York? Anyone? Any other East Coasters in general? Yeah, you see, we're all hybrids. But we talk fast, and I try and slow it down for the California people. Usually I end with a coconut demo. I'm a hybrid now. I've been here since 2001. Usually I end it with a coconut demo as my finale, but I'm going to start with the finale. I figured I'd just turn it around today. Who knows how to open coconuts? Who's never opened a coconut? Okay, this is the tool to save your life, because many of us, I was going to bring my machete here just to show you what we used to have to do, because that's what it was. I have like this big weed whacking machete at home, you know, and I mean, I would never hold a thing like that and do it. I'd put it down and hit it, and I got a lot of dates from doing that. But this is the new way. This is the new way. You could do it with a knife if you had a knife. You could like carve with a knife, and then kind of just get in there and pop the top off. It takes a while. It's annoying. But you could do that. I've gotten into them with a knife before. You could do it with a cleaver. A cleaver is really like my favorite tool after this tool to do it with, because it's kind of, you know, you have a lot of control because it's got a short handle. So, but again, I'm not this girl who does that, because as good as I am, I still, you know, things happen. So you always put it down and you hit it with the cleaver, and you keep your hands out of the way. But this way, this new machine is, this guy David created. It's called the Cocoa Jack. And so I'm going to show you how it works. You basically put it down there, and you have this mallet. It comes in this little bag. See, he's got a little Cocoa Jack bag. You can get the kit. I think you should get the kit. He was on Shark Tank. This guy is rocking it. It's going to take you a little while to get your order when you order these, because he's so backed up. He's got so many people ordering them because it's so great. But if you order it, tell him, you put in the promotion code LOVE, my name Love, and he'll give you 10% off. So now everything might jump. You're in the splash zone. If anything goes off the table, you got to catch it. You ready? So, okay. See, now sometimes you could do it in 3 shots, but at least. So it's perfect this size every time, right? That's incredible, isn't it? So I'm going to pour it right into here. Oh, everyone's like, oh. And so this is like perfect if you wanted to put a cocktail in there, or you wanted to like make your Thai soup and put your Thai soup in there. I mean, you just want to make sure there's no little, I mean, it's pretty a clean cup, but make sure there's no little shelly bits, extra ones around. And then the other thing that comes with, well, I think you got to buy, I think you got to order this one extra, but this you definitely want. This little thing, it takes, so you can take this off. And it basically, so it gets the meat right off like that. See that? How quick. So I want to make sure there's no shells on there. And I think this is going in this recipe. Let's just see what I have going in here. We'll throw it in. Yeah, coconut meat's going in there. Coconut water. I think that's more coconut water than we need, but we'll pour some back in after. And then this, basically you take it, push it to the edge, and then spin your whole coconut around like that. You're pressing with your hands. You could work for him. I know, I should work for him. Isn't that good? So this is great if you want to make this into noodles or something. You know, like some of those Thai dishes have coconut noodles. I think he also has a noodler. You know, I just promote David all the time. Really? He should marry me, but no, I don't want to marry him. But nonetheless, I promote whatever I use, because when it's something good, I have to share it. And so when I'm home, I run this under a little cold water just to make sure there's no tiny little shell bits. I'm feeling really well for them right now, and making sure there's none on there. But isn't that nice? So easy. So the noodler makes like little strings. You can put it in there and do that. And this you could just cut into strips, which is really nice. So we'll throw that in. I'll probably make a double batch of sauce right now. I will. I'll do a guest appearance for him. And then what else is going in here? Now my mailing list is going around. Where is it? Somewhere? Yeah, keep it going around. If you want this recipe, sign up on that mailing list and print clearly. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to send you an email, and I'll email you the recipe. What else is going in here? Coconut water, coconut meat. I'm going to put in some cashews, which are here. Cashews make the creamy, so a little more creaminess. So we'll put in, how much cashews is going in there? You know, I'm sort of measuring, but I know exactly how it's going to be. We're going to put in, I'm like doubling the recipe, so it's about a cup of cashews is going in there. That's about a cup of cashews. And then I'm going to put in, you can put in some flavor. So if I didn't take the vanilla, but I did plan on putting in some amaretto. Now this, since I don't have vanilla, I'm going to put in twice as much amaretto. So that's the amaretto, and then that's the vanilla. And then what else don't I have? I don't have any rum, so we'll put in some more. I don't have any tequila. I don't have any, what else? Should I just, no, I'll save that for later. All of it? You guys, yeah. I'm trying to do health food here. I'm blushing probably. I had the makeup girl do my makeup, so you can't tell. I'm powdered, thank God. Okay, so the amaretto's in there. And then, you know, we always want a little bit of salt. Why? Salt makes the sweet come out, right? So I'm going to put just a tiny bit of salt in. And then for sweet, now this doesn't have to be a super sweet cream. You can leave it that way. You can add a bunch of different sweeteners in here. You can put stevia. You know, the coconut water itself is already sweet. But it's not going to be super sweet because I just put in all those cashews, right? So they're going to take it down. You could put in, sometimes I like to put in this stuff, Sun Warrior protein. This is natural flavor, so it's not that sweet, but they have a vanilla one, which I really like, and that's stevia sweetened. And I like to add that because the stevia that's in there doesn't have much of an aftertaste, and it brings up the sweet, and then I'm putting a little protein powder in, so I do that. I'm not going to put this one because it's natural. This is great because you could add this to your juices or whatever, and it doesn't have any flavor. So instead, I am going to add a little bit of sweetener. For me, I don't put much sweeteners in a lot of things because I want low glycemic, but for today, since we're indulging, we put in already the amaretto. You're getting a little bite. A little bite is okay. You can have the sweet if you're having a little bite. Don't eat the whole thing. Then I don't care how healthy it is, it's not going to be healthy anymore. It's about moderation. So let's put in a little bit of this. This is coconut nectar. It's got a really kind of caramelly flavor to it. And I do actually have measurements that I'm not using, but that's okay. And then this, because I'm going to taste it, make sure it tastes good. And then this is a little bit of mesquite powder. Oh, this stuff. Oh, it's so good. You know, the more things you throw in that taste good, the more it's going to just taste like good things. So you want to throw in matching things that taste good. So I'll put in a little bit of this. But this stuff it's kind of got a malty flavor to it, which I really like. You know, I might sometimes, if I'm home, like put a little maca in too. We can put a little maca in. And I think that what I try and do is create nutrient-dense food. So even when I'm having a dessert, I'm going to add some really good stuff so I'm actually getting some nourishment in the food. You know, now this stuff, it's not like crappy food that you're not getting. This is nuts. This is coconut. These are all whole foods with a lot of nutrition. I don't really eat things that have white sugar. I don't eat things with white flour because that is empty calories. It's got no nutrition. So every time I'm making food, I'm trying to make something that's going to be nourishing my body also. This is not my main staple food because this is not the highest form of nutrition, but still, I know, I mean, it's still sweets and fats. It is. Like, let's be real. It is sweets and fats. But of your sweets and fats, I'm making it as healthy as possible. Oh, this is different than mine. Okay. So this blender, amazing. Blends up anything. Makes your nuts into cream, make your nuts into cheese. Everybody know about these? Who has one? Who doesn't have one yet? Who's getting one after today? Are you going to get one? This machine is like a cell phone. You remember when you didn't have a cell phone and it was okay? And then you got it and you're like, it's never going to be okay again to not have a cell phone. Ever. Ever. Okay, I'm going to add some more of this because I want it a little bit creamier. Because again, I'm measuring by sight right now, you know. And we put in all that extra amaretto. So, you know, come on. I got to grab my coconut oil. Hey, there it is. The magic of television. Okay. Now, what was going on in here was that I had a little spiral. Have you ever blended and you have a spiral? Right? You want to see that little spiral because it means everything's going down from the bottom into the top and going down and getting evenly blended. If you don't have that spiral, it means only the bottom's getting blended and there's an air pocket, so all the stuff on top is not getting blended. So you need to either use your tamper to push it down or add a little more liquid that'll make it go through, okay? And then the last thing I'm going to add is this coconut oil. Why did I wait till the last? Who wants to answer that question? The heat?
No, it gets cold.
Yes. Yes. So if my stuff in here was cold, if my coconut just came out of the fridge, this is cold. And what happens when this liquid, you know what temperature this becomes liquid at? 72, 74. So this is liquid. I just made it liquid. But if it hits something cold, what's going to happen? This is going to become solid. I want it to become solid because I want this to actually become I want it to set up like a cream on top of my dessert. But I don't want it to become solid before my stuff is blended because then it will become solid and my stuff won't blend. It's all engineering, this food thing, I'm telling you. So this goes in last. After, okay, here's the thing that you want to do before you add the last thing that's going to thicken it is you want to taste it. It's got way too much amaretto. You won't like it at all. I'm going to send it back to the kitchen. Yeah. It's amazing. Oh my God. That's so good. That's the kind of thing that if I left some of you alone here, you would drink that and be drunk and high. It would be, you're going to get portioned out because I know. I should have waited, given you that to drink and then sold you stuff. All right. Here are strong guys. Come on. One of you strong guys in the front row. What do you think? Oh, I got it. See? Okay, so we're going to add in, the recipe calls for, we're going to add in a little bit more than that. So, well, this is twice the recipe, and this is what's going to set up my recipe. So, if I don't add that much, it won't set up. Okay? Don't skimp on your coconut oil. How much of that you think you're going to eat in one bite? You're going to eat maybe a teaspoon at most. This is for 2 desserts right now. This is double the recipe. That's for 2 desserts, and that's for how many people are going to share those desserts? So, and the cream is cream. We got to make the cream be cream. That's what I'm saying. You can't just come and think you're going to drink this stuff. That wouldn't be healthy. But okay, so you can see, I'm going to give it one more spin actually because a little bit of that coconut oil didn't fully mix. Sometimes I turn it down to let that air bubble up, and then I'll turn it up again. Oh, great, my pan's arrived. I'm going to bring you this. So you're going to take this back. I'm going to have them put it into this little squeezy bottle because this thing makes everything look beautiful already. So you just want to make sure, since it's a small hole, that you've really blended this smoothly, because if there's one little chunk in there that you didn't blend, you know it's going to get caught in that hole. And then you're going to have to be like, oh, I got to get it out of the hole, I got to wash, I got to do the thing. So they're going to put this in here and prepare your samples, and then bring me back some of that for the one I'm making. See. Okay. So that's that recipe. Now the second recipe we're going to do is actually making the brownies. How much time do I got? 10 minutes? 10 minutes. We're going to make brownies in 10 minutes. It's the beauty of not having to cook things. You can eat them immediately, right? So This is the easiest recipe. Now, the important thing, I'm not going to have you read this. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen first. The important thing about this is you got to put in your dry ingredients first. Who knows why? Lisa, you should know this.
Yes, I do. Yeah, you always have to put your dry ingredients in first, because if you try to do it with the wet, it doesn't break down the dry ingredients.
Right, because then what happens is all the dry stuff sticks to the wet stuff and it sticks to the side. And it becomes like that thing, you know, that ride at the amusement park where you spin around and everything sticks together? That's what's going to, well, sort of, a version of that will happen in your food processor. Everything will stick to the sides. So we have to get the dry things to the exact size and consistency and texture we want first. Then you could add your wet stuff. And then the wet stuff will bind all that nicely, perfectly texturized dry stuff together into the perfect little mound of deliciousness. So the first things that are going to go in here is all my dry stuff, which is walnuts. So I've soaked and dehydrated these walnuts. Who knows about soaking and dehydrating? Yeah? So you want to soak your nuts because it releases the enzyme inhibitors. It releases like that kind of like bitterness sometimes on the outside of walnuts. You soak them like 12 hours, rinse them in some water, get all that stuff off, and then I like to dehydrate them and have them be like dried nuts again so I can blend them almost into a flour, process them almost into a flour, okay? So I'm going to put those. Oh, I have till 2:30? I can tell you many more things then. I thought they were going to kick me off at 2:15. Oh, so that's great. Okay, so let me tell you about these nuts. These nuts, I have walnut trees in front of my house. I actually do have walnut trees in front of my house. I did not open all of these nuts, but I do harvest them home. So we're going to put in those guys. This is a really easy recipe. I put in about a cup of everything to make it easy. A cup of these nuts. We're going to put in a cup of, well, no, it's not a cup of everything, but a cup of cocoa powder. So I'm going to use this cocoa powder right now and add this in. So we'll put in about a cup of this. And this is the measurements to fill one of these. These are the best little tart pans, right? Does anyone have one of these? You know what's cool about this? So it makes for easy serving, and it looks really beautiful and easy to cut it when it comes out of this, you know? So that's what we'll be using. I have cool equipment. I'm an equipment geek. I mean, yeah, I try not to go into sur la table because it's just a thing. And then my mom, she's a shopaholic. So she has no more room in her kitchen, so she'll call me when she's in sur la table and be like, hey, what do you think of this thing? And so she'll buy things for me, and, you know, so she's getting her addiction fed, and then she feeds my addiction for stuff, and then I have these things. They're great, though. You know, she bought me all these little zebra leopard striped cupcake things. My mom bought those. So, like, all the cool little styly things. Oh, I almost bought this thing today. You know what the last thing is we bought? We found, this store is called Home Goods. Who's been to Home Goods? Oh, that store? That store, I shouldn't even have a credit card when I walk in there because it's all these sale items on things that you don't know you need until you walk by them. And so there were these serving spoons for Halloween special deal. They look like bones in a hand. But they're all, you know, they're silver. They're not real silver, but they're silver arms, basically, that are skeleton arms with hands. But they're so cool, and they're really well made. So now I have those. I was going to bring them, but I was like, I have nothing to do with them. What could I? Of course, I would be talking about them, right? Okay, so we got the cacao in there. I put a lot of cool things in here. You could keep adding a whole bunch of things. I'm going to add in some hemp seeds. Again, I want these to be there. Like, aside from the cacao and the dates, you know, the dates is a sugary sweetener, but it's a whole food sweetener. Okay, so of the sweeteners, dates is okay. Fruit is amazing because it's a fruit. Date is a fruit too, so that's my second choice. You know, if I can't just go with the regular fruits, then I'm going to go with dates because dates has all the fiber. It's whole. It's exactly what it is. Then after that, you start getting into like the liquid sweeteners, so things that are a little bit processed and are a little bit more intense, like honey and like this this cocoa nectar and stuff like that. So these are a little bit less healthy than eating a date. Date is a little bit less healthy than having no sweetener at all, right? But of the liquid sweeteners, I'd probably use honey before this. I know if you're vegan and you don't want to eat honey, I understand that. So that's why I use this. But for me, I like honey also. I get it from the farmers. I make sure it's humanely harvested and all of these things. And then it has lots of vitamins, minerals, antibacterial properties. So there's a lot of good things nutritionally and health-wise from that sweetener too. But dates is like a whole food sweetener. I'm going to add in some hemp seeds because these give you a little protein, a little omegas, some of the good stuff, and they're really nice. They're kind of like nutty, chewy. I'm going to add in some cocoa nibs. You know why? The crunch, the texture. These are actually the real cacao beans that have been just crushed, not ground. This, the powder is when it's ground, but the nibs are just crushed. So they have a really almost just a rough texture that I really like. Gives you a little crunch. So I like to add these in too. Yeah. Yeah, do it. Do it.
So you're not going to get this back for another 10 minutes.
That's all right. Okay. I'm good. Thank you. There's a whole team of elves back there. You might not know what's going on behind this wall, but there's like 20 elves all in matching shirts. See, sometimes they come out. You don't even know. There's like little elf holes, and every once in a while you'll see one peeking out, and they're everywhere. There's one right here. This is really an elf festival, and you're just guests. Okay, so that's the cacao nibs I'm throwing in there. And then I want to put in some, what else is going in there? More dry things. I'm going to put in some spices because I want this to have a lot of flavor. The reason you don't need to eat a lot, for one, is because, you don't want to eat so much because it is nuts and sweets and stuff like that. It's a treat. You don't want to eat so much, but I'm going to make it have so much flavor that you don't need to eat a lot because you're going to get this whole satisfaction experience from small bites, rather than something that's empty calories where you just want to keep eating it because you're looking for something that never shows up. We're going to give it to you up front. And what I'm going to put in there is I'm going to put in some cayenne. This is also kind of my strategy. Say Mexican spices. I want to put a little cinnamon, a little cayenne. We're going to put a little paprika, a little salt. The cayenne, because a little heat in your chocolate, who likes that? Yeah, it gives you a little something exciting. It reminds you of something cooked because you're used to heat associated with cooked. And I'm going to put in extra because I don't want you to eat this whole thing. So that's the thing. Make it so that you can't eat more than a bite and you won't eat more than a bite. You got to set yourself up for success. I'm saying, set yourself up. I bought this bread at the farmer's market. All right, this guy at San Mateo Farmer's Market started making these gluten-free bagels and breads. One bagel, like $4 for one bagel I'm paying. But when's the last time I ate a bagel? I don't eat gluten. I don't eat breads anymore. So I saw this guy and I buy the $4 bagels every once in a while. But he also had this bread and he made these loaves and he had a sample of it. And he was like, oh yeah, I only make limited quantities. It's, it's like the family batch. It's very spicy. Very spicy. Okay. I ate a little bite. It was spicy, but it was just that one little bite. Fine. I was like, I'll take one of those breads. That's great. I left. I hadn't eaten yet because I went to the farmer's market, didn't eat, because you sample all these things at the farmer's market. So I was like, I'm going to eat some of this bread on the way home. So I broke off a big piece. I started eating it. My mouth was so on fire. I said, but this stuff, who can eat this? Does this guy really eat this? He lost a whole bunch of weight. The man lost like 100 pounds in the last year, changing his diet. So, he's still kind of a big guy, but he was a really big guy, and he lost a lot of weight by changing his diet. So I really wanted to support him. I was excited about it. I said, but this is probably how he did it. He couldn't eat the food he made. It was like so spicy. I was like sharing it with people. I was like, no, this stuff is going to burn your mouth out. Here, try. And they're like, why would I want to try that? But everyone who tried it ate one bite and literally like crying. I don't know what peppers were in there. So that's a good strategy if you don't want to eat that much. I like putting in a little chipotle too. I only had the big chipotles. Chipotles aren't the spiciest. They're from jalapeno peppers. Jalapenos are not the spiciest on the scale, but they're smoked. So they have a lot of flavor. So I like to put in a few of those. The cayenne is hot, so I didn't, I put in a bit, but it's not going to be too much. This is smoked paprika, not hot, but smoked, a lot of flavor. Savory spices in your chocolate, a little bit here and there. Very interesting, very fun. Gives you a taste sensation. This is Mexican. I told you, they're Mexican spice. So that's what we're doing. We're putting in some cinnamon. So I'm going to put in a bunch of cinnamon. Cinnamon helps regulate your blood sugar, too, so this is really nice. I also like the flavor in chocolate. And then I'm going to put in a tiny bit of liquid smoke. Now, this is, again, one of those flavor things. I could put amaretto in there, although I don't have any more because we put it on the other. You don't need it. You got the amaretto and the cream. So I'm going to just put a tiny little bit of this liquid smoke in. And I know this is liquid, but I'm going to just add it in right now because this is a tiny bit. This isn't going to do that. Very, very small, like maybe a quarter teaspoon of this stuff. And it's amazing like this. You're not, okay, maybe it's not the most healthiest of all health foods, but you're putting in like a quarter teaspoon in all of this. You know how much BAM flavor that's going to be in there? So it's worth it. I'm also going to put in a little bit of salt because salted chocolate is all the rage. It's really a nice combo. And you need a little bit of salt to bring out the sweet again. So we have to put that in there. And I'm also going to add, because I want this to be a little healthy, some of these guys, vitamin mineral greens. This stuff, who uses green powders of any sort? Yeah, so it's about nutrient density. It's about getting as much nutrition in the calories that you're putting into your body. So this, I like this brand a lot, Health Force. I've been using them for years. They have super high standards, really good quality products. And green powder, I add this to my juice. I blend some in the morning in my green juice. I'm trying to juice every day. And why not put a little bit in your chocolate? Why not? Put a little bit in your salad dressing. Put a little bit in your soup. Every little bit counts, little bits. You think, oh, it's not going to make that much of a difference. But you do many little bits, it's going to make a big difference. That's what it's all about. So just look for places to add nutrients, add nutrient density to your foods, make things healthier. This is that maca again. Maca increases your stamina, increases your focus, increases your libido. Anybody want none of that? Is that okay? I put a little bit of that stuff in there. Is that all right? Okay. And if I wanted to, I could also add some coconut, some dried coconut, just for fun. You could do this, not do this. You could add some different nuts if you wanted to. I'm going to put in a little bit of dried coconut just for fun, because why not? It's okay that I do that. And then that's all the dry stuff I'm putting in. I think I got everything in there, right? I put it all in. So now what I want to do is pulse it a bit. Plugging it in would help. Pulse it a bit. And now it's exactly what I want it to be. It's the right texture. That was quick, that was easy. And this is about, I don't know, it's got a little foggy from the cacao, but about halfway is all you ever want to fill these. Otherwise, it's too full, and it's not going to work as well. It needs to only be about halfway full. So if you were going to double this recipe, you need to do it twice or have a bigger machine. Otherwise, you got too much going on in here, because now I have to add all the wet stuff. Anyone know the difference of why we would use a food processor over a blender? Right, so the blender, because of the way it works, is going to make things liquid. It's going to make things creamy because it's got that blade and everything falls right in, and that's what happens. A blender makes things blended and creamy. This, it would be hard to get it creamy in here because of the engineering of it. It breaks things up. So this is great for pâtés. This is great for making the flour for my fudge right now. That's what you would do in here. And now what I would normally do, let me just see if I can get that blender back. Here's the blender, clean. Oh no, they're still using it. So if these dates weren't that soft, I would have, they are really fresh and soft, super moist. If they weren't, I would have probably soaked them overnight in coconut water to make them really soft. And what the recipe says to do, which you don't have to do because they're so soft, is blend them with the coconut oil and make a paste. That way the paste can be added to this and it'll work easily. But since these are so soft, oh, you know what? I left these two. I almost forgot what I did for you. I want to show you how to open these dates. These dates are medjool dates, okay? So these are like the king of dates, you know that? Because they are the juiciest, meatiest, sweetest of all the dates. You got to open them and take out the little stem. I don't know if you could see that stem. Can you see that stem on there? And that seed. Even if you buy pitted dates, always check all of them to make sure, because sometimes the pits aren't all out because they get pitted by machine. So here's another one. Nice one. You just split it open, spend a little time, get all the stuff out of there, and you're good to go. These guys I hand pitted last night because I knew we weren't going to stand here and pit the dates, and I wanted to tell you more stories. So we're putting in about, I don't know, about a cup of dates or so. We'll put them all in. Okay. Because it's not rocket science. Like if it's a little something, I'm going to add something else, you know. But I know that that's all right. And then this guy, ideally, it would be a little more liquid than it is. So what I'll do is go in there, and it's pretty soft though because they did soak it. And my thing is gonna, my machine is gonna chop it up and mix it in there anyway. And this, why do I add this here? Why am I putting coconut oil in? Why? To bind it, yeah, because it will bind it together. It's like a liquid, and also because it just is so rich and buttery. It's like butter. So if you were making brownies or fudge, you'd be adding cream and butter. And because we're not adding those things, I'm going to substitute like the vegan and the raw vegan versions of all that. So now that that's in there, that's my liquid, and I'm going to just let it process a bit until it starts to stick together. Yeah, that's all right. Let me just tell them what I need. Oh, awesome. Well, I don't need it now because it's already in. So I could have, but I don't need it because they were so mushy. You can see right in there, right, that this is pretty much perfect consistency. See that? It's sticking together. See how it's sticking together like that? That's it. Now I'm going to just give it 1 or 2 more pulses, but it's pretty much ready to go. And when it starts sticking together, then you know. Now, if I kept processing this, what's going to happen is those nuts are going to release their oils, and this is going to become like a chocolatey, sweet nut butter. Also an amazing thing, but not exactly what we're looking for right now. Oh, let me get my little poster back up there. Get the amaretto behind the poster. You know. Nobody knows except you that I did that. And everyone who watches that video ever. But, you know, make your food fun. You don't have to put in the amaretto. I did that because it's fun and because it's fun. But, you know, if I was making this for my kids, which I don't have kids, so I can still put in the amaretto. But if I was making this for kids, yeah, that amount of, that was maybe a little bit much, but maybe not that much amaretto. I might still use it for flavoring anyway. Thank you. And then I would use carob instead of cacao because cacao is a stimulant. And I really like carob. 2 reasons. 1, because it's not a stimulant and I can eat it before bed. Not that I'm eating chocolate right before bed all the time. But nonetheless, you could eat it later and not, if you're sensitive to caffeine, you could eat it later and not have a problem. Nope, not yet. Oh, no. I want them to just stay here so everyone can look at them and not have them yet. It's true. Right now. Oh. You could use it and then just give it back to me in like 2 minutes. What's the time? Let's see. 2:25. Okay. Where's my little this thing? So I would use carob. Carob is also sweet. Here, do you use it for like a few minutes and I'll call you for it back. They're making some more. I see everyone comes in at the end for the samples. Carob is a little more sweet than cacao. It's a lot more sweet. So you need less sweetener often when you're using carob. And then, like I said, this is pretty much the perfect recipe for a tray like this. Oh, and you know what I didn't put in here? I forgot. I could put it back in. They already took it to clean it. I also had smoked nuts. So I'm going to add those on top last. So what you could do, if I had a glove right now, I'd probably push this all down with my hand, but I don't feel like getting my hands all in it with no glove on. Oh, here we go. Okay. So this gets it down pretty well. Great. And then, I like to get my hands in it and just, even at home, I like to do it with a glove because I just don't want chocolate under my fingernails, But you're welcome to touch this as much as you want at home when it's yours with your bare hands and share it with your loved ones. And then, we have, can you bring me the little, or ask them for the scrapey, the little scraper? The little one would be good. So now, it can look perfect. I have a little tool that they're using in the back there to make it really flat. You can make it really flat. You can make 2 of these and stack them and put a layer of that cream in the middle. Would be amazing. Put a layer of that cream, put a layer of blueberries, and then put that on top. Or raspberries would be even better because they got the tang. Or you can just use one of these and, scoop this out. And that's what these guys are. They're little cupcakes that I made with these scoops. So you could do anything with that batter. You can also take that batter and add a bunch of other stuff to it. This is, one of those scraping tools that you can use to make it really flat. Look at that. Now see how perfect that becomes? This is when you get into, if you really want to start making things perfect, you can do this kind of stuff. It's not necessary if you're going to put stuff on top. It's up to you how much of a perfectionist you want to be. But that was pretty easy to get it pretty perfect, right? And then what I like to do also is add different nuts and seeds and maybe some goji berries and mulberries and things like that to this. And let me get that. Can I get that squeeze bottle back? Can I get the squeeze bottle back and then I'll give it back to you? The elves are going crazy with the squeeze bottle. They're like little flies on it. It's crazy back here. No, I need it now. Before the alarm goes off and the cane pulls me off the stage. Okay, so then you got this beautiful thing, right? And you can just start doing fun designs. It's easy. Do whatever you want. Write your name on it. You could write happy birthday with this if it was someone's birthday. Today's my friend Joe's birthday, and I'm so going to bring him this one because you guys, I made 2 others that they're cutting up for you back there. But Joe will be so happy, Joe and Lana, about this. But look at that. Is that yummy looking so far? Right? Now you can put a layer on top of this. You could put a bunch of fruit on top of this. How easy. And we'll make a heart. Just only you'll know about that heart. Can you see it? Okay. Take that again. And now what I want to throw on, I was going to add some more cashews to the inside of it, but you'll get that in your recipe. And then I made these smoked nuts, okay? Now these guys, I'm going to just crush them because I don't have a cutting board, but you could put, I could pulse them in here if it was still here. All these things that could be happening right now, but other things happen when other things can't happen. So we're going to take these and just crush them on. And these nuts, what I did was I soaked some pecans, and then I dehydrated them to get them dry. And then I took those dry pecans, and I tossed them with a little bit of this coconut nectar, some salt, and some of that liquid smoke. And I made them taste like smoked nuts. And now those are going to be great on the top of here. And you can buy, Living Intentions. Anyone know about that brand, Living Intentions? Joshua, the owner of that company, and I went to Living Light together. He's a good friend of mine, and he's making amazing, those little bags of flavored nuts. So good. And so if you didn't want to do this yourself, they have cashew curry, and they have teriyaki stuff, or you can get maple and vanilla. You can do whatever you want. I like the mix of the savory with the sweet. I just think it's interesting, and again, it gives you that kind of experience of satisfaction. You have a flavor experience with the food, and you don't need to eat as much of it.
What's in the icing part, the white icing? What's in that?
That's the coconut mesquite cashew cream. So we'll just do a few more of these and do that.
This recipe is online?
If you want this recipe, you should sign up on my mailing list. And I will email it to you. Where's the mailing list now?
Right.
Yeah, so anyone who wants to sign up on there and I'll send you something. And then, now what I'm going to do is I will put this in to set it up because it'll hold together once it's set in the fridge. But I'll just show you how cool it is when it comes out. Not even chilled yet, it's still set. See that? You think people would like that? Throw a bunch of raspberries on top of there? Okay, now we're going to deliver the samples for you to try. Again, if you want more than your samples, I have these little ones for sale for $5. You can get them here or get them at my booth out there. I have a booth. And any of the other stuff you want, just let me know. I'm here if you have questions, but I think I'm at my time right now. So thank you.